Hey, Brandon, pour me another one.
We locked in, man.
How we look, how we sound, how we good, we good?
Are we on the air?
I think so.
Are we on the air? We gotta get in here, man.
What episode is this? It's episode 30? What we
Episode 3, man. This is the episode when we're gonna get the audio right because the fans have been smoking me for the way my audio sounded last time.
It's all good, man.
My mother said it sounded like I was a guest on someone else's radio show.
Wow.
I heard I sound like
He was Nephew Tommy.
I was Nephew Tommy. I heard I sound like I was talking to somebody through the plexiglass.
Wow.
Like I was in lockdown.
I thought you was in the next room.
Yeah. I heard it sounded like I was the guy who talks over the fence in Home Improvement.
I'm weak. People were definitely frying you up. That's crazy. Yeah,
oh crazy. Man, here I'm gonna let you crack that open, man. We back, baby.
So today we got a little gentleman Jack. I'm actually pretty excited about this. Our bro Derek recommended this one.
Derek.
So appreciate it, Derek. We'll let you know how it is. It looks expensive.
It does look expensive. It looks like an expensive extra value pack of cologne.
definitely looks like the biggest version of the cologne that you can get.
Yeah, the biggest one you can get.
But it smells good.
Delicious.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the whiskey that we're drinking. Again, we're always taking suggestions. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and put a comment below. If you have a whiskey that you want us to taste, or if you have a business that you would like to recommend, drop the link. Let us know. If you guys are watching us on IG, or if you're listening to us on any of the podcast apps, whether it be the Apple Podcast app or Spotify,
Anchor.
Let us know. Anchor, let us know.
We're here, man.
We actually picked up some Uncle Nearest because we were talking about that. Love supporting black businesses, but we're going to get there because Uncle Nearest is a different beast.
It's powerful.
The proof is a bit stronger. So we need a little bit of a longer day once we get to, to that. Today's been pretty smooth. So we're going to go with the Gentleman Jack.
Gentleman Jack for the day, man. We're ready to go ahead and partake. Yeah. And then we're going to dive right into these topics. So I'm trying to think what else. So I sound like I was next door. I sound like the guy from Home Improvement. Yeah. Who else? Yeah, that's smooth.
That's good.
Okay, let me see.
Smell like whiskey, huh?
I could take a little more, actually.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. So, how was your week, brother? We're here.
It's been a long week, man, and it's only Wednesday.
Happy release. You know, we dropped the first 2 episodes this week. What's the responses you've been getting? I've
been getting very positive responses. Actually, people have been responding to me with a little bit of debating as far as like some of the things that we've said. I love it. Like that's, look.
That's what it's about.
And listen, my response is always going to be pour the whiskey. Let's discuss.
So as y'all can tell, that phrase comes from Brandon. That's his phrase. Yeah. Pour the whiskey. Let's discuss.
Because that's what this is about. We want to have, very positive, insightful dialogue about just interesting topics. And I appreciate it. Let us know if you guys agree, disagree. If you feel like maybe we should have touched on certain topics a bit longer because they deserve that, more extended dialogue, let us know.
Yeah. We're definitely about that. Let's get to it. We're feeling good.
Well, hey, before we even jump in, Whiskey Wednesdays, we gotta make sure we, get a nice little cheers going on.
Cheers, brother.
This is our first time having this whiskey, so if you see me cringe up a little bit,
you know what time it is.
Yeah, it might be a little strong.
Yeah, man. So, I got some good reception as well, talking about the music.
Yeah.
I did get some responses specifically about the recipe section. They really enjoyed us breaking down music like that. So we'll have to continue to do that. We listen to you guys, the pod squad, the pod mob. We're gonna figure out which one we like. Maybe we'll do like a poll or something you can pick. Pod mob sounds kind of cool.
Yeah,
so
I don't mind that.
We listen to y'all and we're gonna keep moving forward like that. I'm very excited about it. So let's go ahead and see what we got, man. You got any important topics?
Yeah, let's jump on our list, but
let's get in there, man.
Before we even go any little further, I want to make sure I shout out the shorts that I'm wearing today, man.
You are fresh today.
Hey, look, I tried, man. I tried to get dressed, for the occasion. So I want to give a shout out to CEO of Stop Loafing, Elisha. That's our sister. And we love supporting her brand. If you guys can, we'll make sure we put her information in the YouTube comments, YouTube bio below. But also, if you're listening again on any of the podcast apps, I'll make sure we link it below.
Absolutely.
Check out Stop Loafing. Go ahead and follow Elisha and her company on Instagram because her clothes are fresh. They're fresh.
I'm waiting on. I'm gonna get a pair, same kind of shorts, but with the orange pockets. They're pretty fresh. Stop Loafing, Elisha. You know we love you, aka Lit Leash.
Lit Leash in the building.
Lit Leash. We're gonna take this drink for you, and episode 3, bro.
Episode 3.
First couple episodes they were all right. They were kind of smooth. The reception has been great.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to jump right in, man. And like I said, Mike's situation is good now, y'all. So I'm not speaking to Brandon from outside the door.
That's true.
I'm not in the bathroom recording.
Yeah.
We good to go.
Yeah, that's crazy. You definitely were.
I was a guest on my own show.
Yeah, you were sounding a little rough. But hey, we're here. I know this episode is gonna be very clean,
tight, crispy.
First topic, we're jumping in, bro. We're jumping in.
We gotta get right to it. I heard we got some heavy duty stuff, so we're gonna get straight to it.
We got some good topics. So first topic.
This first topic is serious. I hope y'all prepared. All right, listen.
First topic: who had more emotion in their track? Sisqo singing about thongs or Ginuwine singing about jeans? I love this topic. Who had more emotion in their track? Sisqo singing about thongs or Ginuwine singing about jeans? I gotta know. This whiskey is very smooth, by the way.
Who had more emotion? You want me to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know what? Well, when you think back to the thong song, first of all, shout out to the the orchestra and the strings and that joint, the sample they created. I think I saw a little clip of that in its conception. I'm gonna have to go with Ginuwine on this one.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to go with Ginuwine because Ginuwine, he was singing so strong about those jeans that he was growling on the track.
He was growling.
And in my room.
Ginuwine loves a little growl.
Yeah, he was growling. He was serious. Like he was he wanted to squeeze a whole nother person in a pair of jeans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Sisqo, he was talking about it, but at the same time, he had enough energy left in the tank to do choreography and to do cartwheels on the beach. You know what I'm saying? That means he wasn't as passionate about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had the glow in the dark hair with the platinum suit on. He was going crazy, but Ginuwine was like acting like his heart was getting ripped out of his chest because he wanted to fit himself in the jeans with the woman. And I just, wow, maybe that was a metaphor of some sort. You know,
we're talking about the same person who faked his death.
Don't do it.
In Resurrection on 106 and Park.
That was nuts.
Yeah,
I don't know if y'all seen that clip of Ginuwine, his performance on 106 and Park.
Full of drama.
When they rolled him out on the gurney.
Well,
hey, he's a wild
bro.
boy.
Everything stopped. Everybody's like, oh my god, Ginuwine, is he all right? Then they revived him. They revived him on the bed.
Oh,
then he came out and just started pop locking, and that's crazy, man. So
he's a wild boy.
For me, I feel like I kind of feel like Sisqo. I feel like nobody has more emotion than Sisqo. And I'm gonna just read a couple of the ad libs he did at the end of the thong song.
Not even. We're gonna go actual lyrics, just straight to ad libs.
We're gonna go straight to the ad libs at the end of the song.
Oh
This man said, glistening, your thighs, your knees, your breasts, your feet. Oh, please tell me, baby. Oh, what? Glistening. First of all, what's glistening? Then he told you what was glistening.
Then he told you what?
Then he said your breast, your feet.
Dang.
He said
your feet.
Well, I mean, how we get to the feet? He went from the thighs to the knees, from the breast to the feet.
From the thick of thighs to your feet.
That's emotion. He was getting very descriptive in how he felt about things.
But he kind of ventured out because it's about the thong, and he went from the thong to her feet.
But it can't just be all about the thong. It can't be, because he was letting us know everything that was glistening.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm saying?
It was all purpose.
Yeah, man.
All purpose song.
Hey, I guess the bottom line is both of them were very.
They were both very passionate.
Very
Ginuwine
passionate.
seemed a little more hurt You know what I'm saying? He was hurt that you didn't even think about him being in the jeans with you to begin with when you purchased them. Like, you should have purchased a pair that had the size available for him to slide in there with you. He is out of control.
I will say that both songs were pretty brilliant during their times.
Absolutely.
Like we're still talking about it. I had no idea what I was talking about when I was singing the thong song back in the day.
Yeah, I used to say song. That song.
That song.
Yeah.
I remember, man, like just sitting in the back seat, mom and dad driving. I'm singing this song. Ooh, that dress so scandalous.
Wow.
No another can't handle this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I just know that I had a nice beat, heard those strings come in there, and it was a hit.
That's actually a really well. First of all, out of the two songs, we all know that the thong song was the bigger record.
Thong song is a hit.
The Sisqo. First of all, we need to talk more about Sisqo's run. He might need to do a versus.
Sisqo is a monster. Okay, but let's not forget though, Sisqo can't do a versus without some of the Dru Hill hits.
Absolutely, yeah, he would have to include Dru Hill.
Yeah.
So a Sisqo Dru Hill versus, who do you think they should go up against?
Who else? Sisqo Dru Hill versus.
I was gonna say 112, but I think they already went up against Jagged Edge. We might think about that. Y'all let us know who y'all think Sisqo and Dru Hill could go up against in the verses. And
I would say maybe KC and Jodeci. That's the only thing I can really let's just. Look. I love 112. I love Jagged Edge.
That might be a really good one.
Dru Hill is getting both of them.
That might be a really good one.
Dru Hill they're getting both of them out of there. Both.
Dru Hill versus Casey and JoJo. They're not necessarily in the same. They kind of overlap a little bit.
Yeah, but I do think that Dru Hill they pulled a lot from Jodeci.
Absolutely.
I'm just like, you got to kind of like, versus has to be strategically like set up for groups or artists that kind of go well together. Like the Fat Joe Ja Rule versus was a little lopsided in my opinion.
Okay, so I mean, if we want to do that, if we want to talk about that, I feel like the reason that one was lopsided was, Ja Rule did have more hits to me.
Absolutely.
But Fat Joe made bad picks.
Yeah, Fat Joe was trying to show that he did real hip hop, which is cool.
And he probably got inspired from watching that the Locks and Dipset versus. Yeah, so he's like, I want to come in with the real hip hop.
We had already gotten that though.
Yeah, but
we already got it.
That's not the realm that you in. He should have came out the gate leaning back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
He should have came out the gate with the what was the joint with
all the way
Let
up.
Me Hold You. Yeah, all the way up, those things, because Ja Rule has hits. Pop hits.
And then Ja Rule said, I'm just gonna R&B y'all to death.
You got to know your lane.
He had hits.
Yeah, he had hits, and he had the special guest to go with it. Shout out to Ashanti.
Shout out to Lil Mo.
Shout out to Lil Mo.
Lil Mo was singing, by the way.
She in shape.
She definitely was in shape.
She in shape.
Bro, Lil Mo hit all the ad-libs.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it right now. We're gonna call this episode In Shape.
Yeah,
because that's what it's about.
You got to be in shape.
You got to be in shape. So
let's jump in. So we went ahead and hit Ginuwine and
you got to get that in there.
Sisqo.
And like we said, feel free to tell us who you think won that battle. Who had more emotion in their song, Ginuwine or Sisqo? Told you my vote is Ginuwine, because he was literally trying to squeeze a whole human being, another human being, in a pair of jeans, and he was angry about it that there wasn't enough space.
Was Kimora Lee Simmons in that video? Was that the video?
I don't know, but shout out to Kimora Lee. She definitely had baby fat on lock.
Baby fat, and I'm just trying to figure out if that's what the focus. I might be wrong. It's okay if I am. So look. We're just gonna go ahead and jump into the next topic.
What you got?
This topic is very controversial.
Oh yeah.
So I'm hoping that we can go ahead and get through this without any tension.
Without getting canceled.
Yeah. So we've seen this debate. Who is the king of R&B?
Right now.
Who is the king of R&B? Period. And the whole right now thing is the part that frustrates me, because why are we talking about right now when we say who's the king of pop, everybody knows who the king of pop is? Like, it's not necessary for me. It's not about right now. It is who is the king of R&B. Period.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. There really isn't one, because if you look at it the way you just said it, right? As far as the king of pop, we already know everybody's gonna say it's Michael Jackson, right?
Yeah. To
this day, people still play Michael Jackson's records faithfully, and it's universal, right?
Yeah.
So he's undoubtedly the king of pop.
Yeah.
I can't think of one R&B artist whose music is universally played and it's just they play it all like it's timeless all the time. Like they're gonna throw Michael Jackson on anywhere on any station.
Okay.
I can't think of a male R&B artist who had the longevity and had such a run of well put together records that they're so timeless that every year at this time they're playing your song. Everywhere you go, white people, black people, anybody's playing your record.
Yeah, that's tough because R&B as a genre doesn't necessarily always cross over, whereas pop does. So like Michael Jackson being the king of pop, Michael Jackson also has R&B hits. He has rock. You know what I'm saying? Like he has it's very, very crossover, which makes him the king of popular music. So if we're kind of taking it in that direction, I feel you in what you're saying. But taking that aside, as far as like criteria, just in your heart, who do you feel like is your king of R&B?
There isn't one.
Okay.
And you know what's funny? So one thing about people like Michael Jackson, and other, even like Prince and people like that, they didn't allow the times changing around them to force them to conform to a new sound. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are. I feel like there are artists who are legends, but who are afraid to be older. They're afraid to be legends, so they work hard to make current sounding records. So like, for example, the person who it should be, we all should be saying, is Usher, right?
Yeah.
It should be Usher, and I think he's probably the closest one to it. Okay. But Usher has done some things recently musically that I feel like he's been trying to conform to the style that's out right now. And it felt to me, as I've been a fan of Usher my entire life. So back in, what was it, maybe 2014, when he dropped those records, he dropped Good Kisser, he dropped She Came to Give It to You, right?
Yeah.
It was going in that more classic, timeless sound direction.
Yeah. And
then he stopped, and then he kind of disappeared from it. He didn't fall off. He disappeared for a minute, and then he came back with what's the name of that album? The album where he's like in stone. It's a white album. We can look it up. But he came out with the album, and notice we had a debate about what his greatest album was, and that album never came up.
No. So I'm gonna look that up too because
I got you.
Okay. Yeah. So I think for me, it's
Hard to Love. 2016.
Yeah, Hard to Love. Yeah.
And you see those songs like Good Kisser and She Came to Give It to You. They're not on the album. I think that he was moving in that direction, and then somebody must have said, "Yo, look, this music sounded a little too old. Are you ready to go in that direction?" It feels like there might have been conflicting ideas. Different people in the room had different ideas, and then he decided to let's go with the more current sound because they might have been concerned that other stuff wouldn't translate.
Yeah, and then 2 years later he dropped A.
The joint was Beethoven,
which actually was pretty clean and very, very current. Yeah, I mean it was clean. What was it great? Are we talking about it? Did we keep listening to it? No, but it was clean. 8 songs. I think it was a nice collaborative album. Mm-hmm. But I think that he was trying to be more current.
I think when you get to a certain point, you shouldn't be following the trends should be following you. And I think Usher is in that place. I feel like Chris Brown should be in that place. You know what I mean? Where like, and the one person, like I said, who I think is doing it in kind of the right way is The Weeknd.
Okay.
We should see a progression in your music as you move forward, right? So like The Weeknd, he came out with the the dark, spacey music, and that's what got him hyped. Like we were all listening to House of Balloons and Thursday.
That was definitely the college kickback.
The trilogy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
House of Balloons.
I was definitely in the kickback, with the candles lit, and we were listening to that joint. So it's like, but then he transitioned out of that to Worth It, or what's that song called?
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Yeah,
y'all know that joint. But that song was
Earned It.
Earned It.
Yeah.
Earned It was a really good song, and it was structured the right way. It wasn't as loose in the overall structure of the song as the songs that were on his mixtapes. And that was the perfect transition to Can't Feel My Face.
Yeah.
You're making these strong records that can stand on their own.
Hits.
And they become hits, right? And you notice since then he's been trending in that direction. So he's, like we said, he pays attention to what's going on. You got to progress with your music, and then you got to get to a point where you study the greats and you become greater. If you haven't heard that phrase before, it's a very popular phrase. Study the greats and become greater. You can't be, in my opinion, influenced by what's going on around you too much. You gotta pay attention to it, but at the same time, you still gotta make something that's gonna reach everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
a lot of people, they want to kind of sit on their core audiences, you know what I mean? Which is cool too, and keep giving them the same kind of thing. But your core audiences, they're also hearing other people.
Yeah.
So, they can get bored with you doing the same thing all the time. You got to keep it interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, to answer the question, the king of R&B right now should be Usher.
Should be.
But I think his direction has been so loose, and as far as like taking that big brother stance, or that like I'm the leader stance, and making timeless like records since then, it's been so like all over the place. You never know what he's gonna do. I feel like the field is wide open. Not even just for the king of R&B, but R&B in general right now. I feel like it's so wide open because everybody wants to make vibes right now.
Yeah.
And not everybody wants to just go in and make timeless records. Everybody just wants to have, songs where they're not putting too much on it, but the beat is nice. And they can just croon a little bit, but they're not talking about anything. You know what I mean? The game is wide open for that.
Yeah.
But real R&B artists.
So, you definitely had some good points. Man, when you like walk through the Weeknd's like catalog, man, yeah, we got to have a whole segment about the Weeknd.
It might be the Weeknd.
Yeah.
To be real, and I said that in our group chat with our other friends with Derek and Jihad.
It just gets tricky because when you start talking about the Weeknd, to me he's such a pop artist. He just is. Like, I know that that's not really where he started.
Man, that's not what he classifies it as.
But a lot of but I can go on a song and talk and classify it as country. That doesn't mean that's what it is. You know what I mean? Like
Lil
and
Nas X?
Bieber is the same one that was getting upset about not winning R&B album of the year, but he classified his album as pop. So like not even to kind of venture off, but like I say that to say artists can classify their music as what they want.
Yeah.
And for me, I know that you were saying like it should be Usher. And I was when I was thinking about this question, I'm like, okay, the king of pop, I'm king of R&B. Like that means like of all time, right? When
you think of R&B, you think of this person.
Yeah. And when I think of R&B, I think of Luther Vandross. Like that's the person I think of. Like when I think of R&B, I think of Brian McKnight. When I think of R&B, I think of Tank. I think of Usher. I think of Chris Brown. Mm-hmm. And if I am like considering, I think of Stevie Wonder. Like that
actually might be who it is.
Yeah, and he has a really good mix of pop music, R&B music, soul music. So
I'll die on that hill.
Yeah,
Stevie.
Okay, and that's fair. Like that's fair for me. If I had to consider artists that are not necessarily no longer here, or artists who kind of had their run earlier, I would definitely say Luther for me. If I was talking about a present day artist still making music, for me it would be Chris Brown, with a really, really close second being Usher. And I know that we might get some kickback for these because I just named two artists who are also heavily crossover and they venture off into the pop world. But like if I were to go through Chris Brown's R&B songs, it would be endless. I would keep going. Like he has great R&B music, and I don't necessarily know, like personally, I don't know any artist who is out right now who could even come close to Chris Brown.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and we saw the tweet going around saying that Omarion was considering a versus against Chris Brown.
He can't. He can't.
So that's not my pick. My pick for an opponent for Chris Brown in the verses is Trey Songz, because their careers were parallel to me, right?
Yeah.
And you watch them, I think they both had they both had great records, big records. I think, of course, in the end, Chris Brown would edge out, as the winner. But I think that'll be a really tight one. I feel like those two at one point they shared like the king of R&B right now, thing for a while. But there's something about venturing out and like trying to rap and do other things like that. You gotta be consistent with consistently dropping good stuff, because once you start to make something that's less quality than the previous things you did, then it feels like you lose credibility. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, we still know you're a legend. We still know you've done all these other things, but right now you're not really making no real heat.
So you don't think Chris Brown's making heat?
Right now, no.
Wow.
Nope, I don't. And I love Chris Brown. I was trying to be like that, man, when I was younger. You know, I was doing all the dance moves in the Gimme Gimme video. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yeah, I can't agree. I feel like his sound has changed, and it has to change. Like the greatest they changed their sounds over time. Like
do they? But do you think he's progressed, or do you think he's going the opposite direction?
I think that he's staying relevant. Like, and
you answered my question.
I think he's staying relevant because he can't do what's the song? He can't give us Give Me That, or he can't give us Run It now, right? He can't, never a right time to say goodbye. Those things are dated. Those are great records. So he has to be current. And I think that if he was giving us those songs that we call quality now, it wouldn't necessarily stick. Like
right. But when I talk about songs being quality, I'm not talking about like the style of the song.
Okay.
I'm talking about well-written songs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's usually what it is for me.
Yeah.
So real quick, when you think about in my opinion, when I think about songs and I write songs, there are only two types of songs when it comes to songwriting, in my opinion. First opinion is, two types of songs. First is it's either a conversation or you're telling a story.
Okay.
Foolproof. That's like the foolproof formula to writing a good song, right? Greatest songs of all time, Thriller, you're telling a story, right? I'm trying to think of other songs that are like conversations. You go through your discography, y'all at home, go through your discography and pick out some of your favorite songs, and I guarantee you it's either a story or a conversation, right? But a lot of it now is the singers are trying to act like rappers and the rappers are trying to act like singers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Straight like that. So no one's really focusing on making good songs and writing timeless records and really focusing on the structure of songs. It's more about how can I make myself look cooler to everybody. You know what I'm saying? They're putting out records like Instagram influencers put out skits. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily of quality, but it's like I need to make sure that I'm consistently doing something so that you think that I'm relevant and I'm cool. But there's an art to being able to give someone real quality music, like we talked about Bruno.
Yeah.
He hits you with 24K magic, and then he goes and he sits down for a minute. He lets that simmer. 9 songs, but it's a classic record. And you're going to say at least 7 of them songs are classics, right?
Yeah.
You got Bruno does it. Even The Weeknd has been doing it. Kendrick Lamar does it. Even Drake kind of does it, but he takes time in between his albums, right? Rihanna's done it. Yeah. You look at people's their track record. Every 2 years they're dropping an album. Every 3 years you got to go live. Ed Sheeran does it.
Ed Sheeran, yeah. I wanted to actually talk about his return.
You know, so it's there's a responsibility when people grow up with you, like Chris Brown or like Usher. When we grow up with you, you know, life is going on and we're progressing and we're getting smarter and wiser and we're experiencing things. And so then we want to see that same type of growth in your music. So we shouldn't feel like you're going backwards. It's like you see like an old dude come in the club with a backwards hat on him and gold chains to like it don't look right. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like.
Yeah, the reason I named Chris Brown is because I understand that he gets that, okay, I'm going to give you a full album, right? And on the album, and it's smooth. It definitely, the whiskey definitely is very smooth. This is a good recommendation, Derek. He understands that, okay, time is going on and my music has to stay relevant. So, you know, he'll do collaborative albums. He will, you know, jump on a feature. Any feature that Chris Brown has ever been on has been good. His part, at least, has been good. I have never ever heard him, and like that to me is him like kind of keeping current, staying fresh, staying on top of his sound. I definitely believe that like Chris Brown's sound has switched up a lot compared to how it used to be. That being, he'll always kind of have like a pitch up, in his vocals. The auto-tune has shifted. I think that he's always had an auto-tune on his voice, but definitely a bit heavier than it used to be. Writing is different. And let's be real. Writing is different because he's one of the biggest artists in the world. And Chris Brown has a room full of people sitting there writing for him. So that's going to change as well. So the reason that I mentioned Chris Brown is because I'm trying to think of one individual who could sit in a room and click song for song back to back. And I don't know who that is who's still making music today. I think Trey Songz definitely was a really good mention. Like, Trey Songz has hits, and don't forget it. Like, dude has hits. Yeah. And he's still making music and is still making good music. I think his last project was really good. But yeah, Chris Brown is that dude. Like, and he dropped Heat. He did the song with her. Like,
that was a good one. So I'll ask you this question: when you look at Chris Brown's most recent records, right? Take whatever the biggest one he had recently, like Heat or any of those other joints. What was the joint where he was? Is that the one where he was like moving like a kappa?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Put that song up against one of his hits from a few years ago, like before that. Like, put that up against like Deuces when he was around that era.
Yeah. That
song don't stand a chance
against Deuces.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
You put Heat up against any of his hits that came before that, but that song don't stand a chance.
Yeah, but like, okay, think about.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, it is. But like, that's what's happening nowadays. Like,
but it don't have to be, because I feel like when you're that big, when you're a leader, you should be leading.
But
like we talked about this with Rihanna, right? Rihanna's not somebody that.
But we got to stop talking about her right now because she's not putting out music.
No. But listen to me. When you're a leader like that, you have the capacity to change the way music sounds. So Matt, when Rihanna dropped Work, everybody started making reggae records after that.
Okay.
Even Drake started making reggae records, but that was after it.
Yeah, Drake was on that too.
He was on that song. Then all of a sudden after that, everybody had a song. And first of all, shout out to Party Next Door, because he's very underrated as a songwriter.
Yeah. Drake has also been dipping in different genres for his whole career.
He does.
But now you're talking about Rihanna. I'm gonna talk about Beyonce. Beyonce's sound has Beyonce be rapping. She's rapping at this point, right? And her sound has completely changed. I personally like Beyonce singing. I like the older records that she has, but I understand that she had to go in a different direction to stay relevant, because you can't ballad people to death.
I don't believe that.
I mean, where's Adele?
Chilling.
But Adele, if Adele, okay. So for me, the male version of Adele, closest that we can really talk about is Sam Smith, right? In my opinion, Sam Smith. I know you're not the biggest Sam Smith fan, but Sam Smith has a lot of ballads. And The Lonely Hour was like my favorite Sam Smith album, and great songs on that album. But he can't lay by your side for his whole career. He had to give us something else. So he has the song with Normani. Like he had to like give us something that was a bit more current, and it's a different sound.
What's the difference though?
It's a different sound.
It's a different sound, but the difference is that those songs were well written.
Okay.
You can't put his most recent songs, put Heat up against, what was it, Diamonds or whatever the Sam Smith song. There's a difference in the quality of the writing, and that's what's getting lost, because everybody's trying to be cool and sound like a rapper, and you know what I'm saying, and everybody's trying to steal the Migos' rhythm that they started, that like triplet pattern thing, to the point where they're not writing good songs. Yeah. And those are the things. It's microwave, so it's kind of like, all right, we got this song. It's gonna be out right now. It's gonna be out for a couple months. We're gonna drop another song. It's gonna keep moving like that. Yeah. But nobody's gonna go back to that music 10 years from now.
I will say though, since we're talking about good songwriting, there are a few artists that are out who have well written songs.
I agree.
And we're gonna back off the King of R&B topic for a little bit, because at the end of the day, it's inconclusive.
And we can talk about this all day. And it's all subjective.
Very subjective. I mean, we even jumped on some of the artists that are very well versed in pop. Like, that's just kind of how it's become. Like, we didn't mention, well, not at all, but we didn't really go into artists who just stay strictly R&B. And I'm actually glad that you brought up Trey Songz,
Yeah.
Because that is one artist who did. Like he's true to R&B. Tank is another artist who is true to R&B, and that also has to speak for something.
But Trey Songz had a wave of him rapping definitely on remixes and a lot of mixtapes where he would rap, but he wouldn't put that on like his mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
On his big records, he knew who was he with? Was it Songbook with was Troy Taylor?
Yeah,
those guys, right? You can tell he had the right people around him. Was like, yo, this is R&B. We're gonna write good records and produce around that. You can do that other stuff on your own time, on your free time. You can have fun with that, and that can help you stay relevant. Especially when the mixtape era was kind of dying down. He was doing that. It was like, let me hold that beat.
Yeah.
Series. But he understood that you had to keep those things separate, and that's a lot of people aren't doing that now. They're just kind of blending in. I will say, what's my man named? Ginuwine. His songs that I've heard from him are well written.
Okay.
They're well written.
He just dropped a song.
Like last night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. I think you got to speak to people. You know what I'm saying? Like the beats and all that. Beats are cool. The bass and all that is real good when you go to the club.
Yeah.
But people out here experiencing real life stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to say something, tell a story, or have a conversation with that person that's gonna connect with their hearts, because then that's what they're gonna think of. That people connect songs with periods in their life.
Yeah.
They connect albums with parts of their lives. Like, oh, I remember where I was at with this drop, or I remember when this and this happened, and this song came out. You don't always have to be the guy who reflects the times. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not gonna be Nina Simone. Everybody's not gonna be Marvin Gaye. What's going on? But it gotta mean something to you first in order for it to mean something to somebody else. If not, it's gonna be microwavable, and you might as well throw it away.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just be honest with you. That's a lot of the music nowadays.
It is.
That's a lot of the music nowadays. Like I love it when a song comes out that has meaning, because it is kind of rare.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
but you know what? I'll say this. I think that kind of music that I'm talking about, the more meaningful music exists. I think it's out there floating around, but these big labels and corporations are not buying into it, because they're buying into this whole influencer wave. You know, they're like signing people who aren't even true musicians. They just have a lot of followers.
Yep, that's what it's about.
We sat on Clubhouse one time in a couple of these quote unquote A&R rooms.
Yeah, those
with
A&R
these guys, and I sat in a room, and these people were coming in, and they were playing these artists. They were so hungry, and they just loved their music, and they were pouring their souls out to these A&Rs. And I don't even know if these people, that's really their job. First of all, it was during the pandemic. Well, we know y'all wasn't doing no work.
A&Rs were not working.
So y'all had all day to sit on Clubhouse and get your ego stroked, but that's neither here nor there. I've heard a bunch of artists come on there and play their songs, and then the first thing they would say is they're like, oh man, that song was so great. And I'm listening, I'm like, dang, like these people are really good.
Yeah.
The first thing these A&Rs were saying, how many followers do you have, and are you verified?
That's crazy.
It doesn't matter.
No.
So until like these labels get tired of promoting these artists and putting their budget behind these gimmicky artists who they're not that talented, so they're doing skits and stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
This is what we're gonna get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it is frustrating that music has kind of become a bit watered down in that way. But, you know,
very much so.
As you always say,
the game's the game.
The game's the game.
Hey, Pod Squad, the game is the game.
And it always will be.
And it's really, artists nowadays, listen, man, while Brandon pulls up the next topic.
Yeah.
Build your core audience, man, and make the music you want to make. And you can live a full life as an independent artist and be very successful, and people never see you on television. They may never see you at the Grammys. That don't mean you won't get a Grammy. There are plenty of people who get Grammys, but they're not televised.
That's real.
That don't mean that you can't win all the awards. You know what I mean? But build that lifestyle for yourself, making the music that you want to make, and don't let these gimmicks and this payola and all these other things that are going on around you force you to change your sound and conform to something that you don't love, because you're the one who makes the music first, and you're the one who has to love it first, because you're the one who's going to live with it forever, and you're the one who's going to perform it.
Yeah. And trust, if it's not authentic, it will definitely be it will be seen and heard, like, and felt that this is not who you really are.
Fleeting.
Yeah.
You'll look at as like a character.
For sure.
And that's not what you are. It starts with your love and you move forward with that. So that's all I got for that topic.
That's real.
I love it. I got a little turned up.
I love it, man. Yeah, and this is the cool thing about this podcast where we both are artists. We know how it feels to create. We know how it feels to put out music. We know how it feels to get excited about potential opportunities and either things work out well or they fall through.
We've both been in those situations where we were sitting down at tables and having conversations and looking at these contracts and things like that, or feel like we're right there at the cusp of stardom or something like that, and then it falls through. So we're not just some guys sitting in their basement rapping. You know what I mean? just talking, just talking mess. We've experienced some things, so
for sure.
I didn't mean to get so live on y'all, but what's that phrase? I'm sensitive about mine.
Yeah, that was Erykah Badu.
Yeah,
she said I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my stuff.
Yeah, man.
So, look, we're gonna shift gears a little bit here.
Talk to me.
Next thing, and it's actually kind of crazy that this person was brought up before, and I think I actually put this on the list because I'm kind of in this space. But most pivotal Chris Brown album.
Man, we might have to name this episode Chris Brown. Dang.
Nah, we're not naming this episode no Chris Brown.
Charlie Brown. Anyway, most pivotal Chris Brown album.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just gonna kind of run through a couple. I'm gonna run through all his albums, and then you let me know what stands out to you.
I can already tell you which one my pick, but go ahead.
I already know my pick too. All right, so we probably got the same pick.
We probably do.
2005, Run It. 2005, Chris Brown.
He gave us two albums 1 year.
Is Run It an album?
I thought that was just
so Run It. They had different versions. They had different versions of
EP.
it. Yeah. So Chris Brown's self-entitled album was 2005. So that's crazy. So in 2005, I was 15, and I think are me and Chris Brown the same age? Cause the young boy just turned 15 and I got So I think we're the same age. Exclusive came out in 2007. Graffiti came out in 2009. So he's been putting out albums and music, and it looks like he was kind of doing like a every 2 year thing, and then he kind of went into like an every year thing. So Graffiti was 2009. Fame was 2011. Fortune was 2012. X was 2014, which I remember that album. I remember X a lot. Fan of a Fan. So Fan of a Fan was 2015, but Fan of a Fan was actually a mixtape. Yeah. And then they made it an album.
Who's low key underrated. Tyga could do a verses.
Yeah.
Tyga could do a verses.
We got to figure out who could verse.
I don't really know. Yeah. Tyga has a lot of hits.
I don't know. He did Royalty in 2015, Heartbreak on a Full Moon.
It's 2020, right?
And that was 2017. And that's actually the one that
Heartbreak was 2017?
Yeah, Heartbreak on a Full Moon was 2017. That's the one that we were talking about last episode, and we couldn't remember what it was called. Indigo was 2019, and then he gave us Slime and B in 2020, and that was with Young Thug.
Oh, with Young Thug. I'm sorry, he gave us All right.
Yeah.
I think my favorite Chris Brown album is Fame.
Yeah,
Fame is his best one, the expanded edition.
Hands down.
From jump.
Hands down. Let's go through it. Sheesh.
First song, Deuces.
Sheesh.
And I'm going to put respect on Kevin McCall's name.
Put respect on it. Respect.
His pen, put what on it?
Put respect on his name.
With a C and a K. Put respect on that man.
Come on, man.
Because his pen was going crazy on Deuces. He was writing, man. I hope he's doing all right.
I'm sure he is.
There was a lot of him popping up, in the media with different situations. That's neither here nor there. The man is very talented, and I hope he's doing okay.
Same.
Deuces, and look, Tyga's on that too.
Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. I'm about to say, don't skip. Okay, we're still on number one.
I'm still on Deuces.
Okay,
it's such a good record.
It is.
Up to You.
Great record.
No BS. Look, who else? Kevin McCall.
And the thing is, that's just those three right there. That's a very strong start. Keep going.
And then what's next? Look at Me Now.
A hit. Oh,
She Ain't You.
A hit.
She ain't you.
Come on,
with the Michael Jackson / what's the other sample? SWV. Say It With Me. Say It With Me, baby. Yeah, 3 times. That was his big pop record. Yeah. Come on, man.
Dang.
Next to You with Justin Bieber.
With Bieber.
Hits.
Like that. We're at number 8, and they're all hits.
All Back. Number 9.
All Back.
Yeah. Wet the Bed with Ludacris. Oh my! This album is nuts.
Yeah, man.
Chris could do just this album in his verses,
bro. But think about how many songs. So this album has 18 songs. He had to pick.
We sat and listened to this album straight, and we skipped nothing.
He probably had at least 100 songs that were solid. he had to get it down to 18.
Beautiful People with Benny Benassi.
Beautiful people.
Wow.
Should Have Kissed You was a hit too. You skipped over that.
I should not have skipped it. I'm sorry. Should Have Kissed You. Love that. This wave of this album was this Fame and Fortune. Those two albums.
Yeah.
They were great together.
Back to back, yeah.
Paper Scissors Rock.
Yep.
With Big Sean. With that, I think Timbaland made that beat.
Yep.
Beg for It.
Yeah. I mean, this
the only one I don't know about this Chipmunk song. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
this is the
that must have been a sync. Yeah,
yeah,
that must have been a sync license for the movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
he owed somebody a favor. So
he said, "Let me go to get this favor. Yeah, I don't owe you no more. We square."
Somebody bought him lunch back in the day, and he said he had to go ahead. Now.
He said, "We square."
I don't know who Chipmunk is.
They put that money up for that Chipmunk joint.
Hey, but listen, Chipmunk, shout out to you. The game is a game. So, yeah, Fame is solid. I actually really like X. I like that album a lot.
Run it down for me.
So you got X, okay. Add Me In. He has a lot of album cuts on this one that are very strong. So he also had Loyal with Lil Wayne and Tyga. He had
shout out to Ty Dolla $ign because it's hey, if y'all didn't know that, I'm pretty sure that's a Ty Dolla $ign record that was given to Chris Brown. And when you go back and listen to it now, you'll hear Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah, I definitely hear him in there. New Flame.
I didn't really like that song when it first came out because I wanted something bigger from them, but it grew on me.
Yeah, I liked it as soon as it came out. Like as soon as it hit.
It grew on me, sure.
Autumn Leaves with Kendrick Lamar. Really good song. Do Better featuring Brandy. So he had this is what we're talking about when you were saying storytelling and really well-written songs and strategic features that make sense to the songwriting.
It's important. Brandy is the queen of background vocals. And
this actually is one of my favorite Chris Brown songs. Fine China. I love that song. Start to finish. I love
what a record.
I love the concept of it.
What a record.
That's it. I mean, that's it. And then also Royalty was a really strong album too. Royalty had Back to Sleep. So Back to Sleep had how many remixes on it.
Yeah.
He had Liquor on this album.
That's one of my favorite Chris Brown songs.
I love Liquor. And actually that was the summer that I went Perla and I went to go see him live.
Yeah.
Bro.
How was that?
I loved it.
Yeah, that concert was probably nuts.
Man, I was in awe the whole time. He gave us a 3-hour show. Same thing with Usher when we went to go see him. Nice. Full out choreography the entire time.
That's fine.
Singing, not lip syncing. Singing.
That's dope.
And he just has hits. Don't forget, man. Don't forget. This dude has hits.
You know, it's one of my favorite Chris Brown songs. 4 Years Old.
Yeah.
And why? Because clearly I'm a simp for the songs where you're pouring out your heart and you're kind of talking or telling your stories.
Nothing wrong with it.
That song hit me and I loved it. If you don't know that song by Chris Brown, 4 Years Old, it's an amazing record. Please go listen to it.
Yeah.
Getting your feels.
And then I'm just gonna mention this one last album, Indigo. This was in 2019, so right before the pandemic hit.
The pandy.
And he has some good songs up here. So I'm not the extended version of it.
You're talking about when it had 106 songs?
Yeah, we not. Yeah.
Look how you swiping.
I know, but so the original one, not the extended. He had Indigo is a great song just to start off the album. Back to Love. Then he has Come Together with Her. Temporary Lover, which was a little shaky with Lil Jon, but I was fine with it. But then he came up with Emerald Burgundy, featuring Juvenile. Yeah, that transition was crazy.
The joint with Her is my favorite.
Yeah. That. So we actually in our chat too, we were comparing that one to the what was it, the Brandy?
Yeah, the one on Brandy's album.
Daniel Caesar.
Yeah, and I was never really sure why that was a conversation, but yeah.
I don't know either.
We were on the same page.
And he actually has a song up here with Trey Songz. He has a song out here with Tank 2, early 2000. So yeah, the consensus here is Fame.
Yeah, for sure.
Fame, and that was in 2011. So that was 10 years ago.
And y'all let us know what y'all think. What's the best Chris Brown album? Fame is the consensus here in this room.
One thing that we didn't touch on is why is it the most pivotal? Pivotal is a very important word. We talked about this last episode. Pivotal. Why is it the most pivotal?
I think because it just had the most. It kept them on top the longest because it had the most well-written songs on it. Mm-hmm. Right? It had the best songs on one album. You know what I'm saying? So we just went through. It was 18 songs,
Yeah.
And we said a 100% definite yes to 17 out of the 18 songs.
Yeah.
That's why it's the most pivotal.
Yeah.
They did that one right.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was the most pivotal because, you know, I feel like he was transitioning out of that younger artist.
Yeah.
He had figured out his sound, figured out where he wanted to go with himself. And it was just like you just said, a very well put together album.
Yeah.
And I think that he had a lot of say so in it, because I think that a lot of times Chris Brown is such a well versed artist that sometimes we kind of forget the fact that he's actually a really good creator. You know what I mean? Like he actually has like a creative, like a great creative mind. Definitely. His music videos are great. His concepts are great,
the graffiti and things like that.
Yeah, and I feel like he had a lot of influence and fame, and he was able to do that finally.
Yeah.
So
I like it,
and that's what we were talking about, the authenticity of you as a person and as an artist. We feel that when you pour yourself into your music.
100%.
Yeah,
you got to buy into that. Like I said, you're the person that has to live with it forever. People can never listen to your music ever again. You will. You got to be happy with it. I can only speak for myself, but when I make music, every song, and even if it's a little beat that I made that's only 16 bars, something, they're like your children.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You love everything. You love every song that you make, like as a child. So you gotta have pride in your music. You gotta love your stuff. So never conforming to what someone else wants you to do. Listen to others. Be open to suggestion, and do research. But don't feel like you gotta try to keep up with what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I
like that. Cool, man. This is a deep episode here.
Too deep for the intro.
That's all right. So cool. Next up on the list, we're really making a hard shift here. This is something that has become kind of trending on social media lately, and it's kind of like the hype up for potentially the next verses or maybe a upcoming verses, and that being Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri called out Diddy. Diddy told him that the only person he could really even see himself going against was Dr. Dre, and he told Jermaine Dupri that his arm's not long enough to reach to God. That's what he told him. So I kind of want to hear your take on it. How do you feel about Diddy versus Jermaine Dupri as a versus?
I think Diddy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love.
Yeah.
I think he's absolutely correct.
Yeah, he said you go ahead and play some Mariah. I'll kill you with Mary. What you think about that? Yeah, that's what he told him.
I don't even know what to say about that. So when you got that early Mary, when she was in her zone. First of all, Mary's one of those people who she's never left her prime when it comes to music.
Mary said she's not doing the verses. Nobody can. She said nobody can verse her.
And I can't think of nobody.
She got hits.
She got bangers, man.
Mariah got hits too, but not all her hits are with Jermaine Dupri, so he can only play the ones that he did. So that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if Mariah could beat Mary.
No, but I'm just saying she definitely has hits. But he was like, you give me some Mariah, I'm gonna kill you with Mary.
Yeah, that would be highly entertaining.
A lot of Mary's hits are with Diddy. You can't really say the same with Jermaine Dupri from
Diddy actually is the greatest producer ever.
Woo, that's whole nother conversation.
He really is.
He better than Quincy? He better than Pharrell?
Yes.
He better than Timbaland?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just throwing out
the Quincy one.
I'm just throwing out some notable.
I'm looking at the camera. I ain't gonna say all that.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out some notable. Producers.
I got stories. Did I ever tell you that I sang at Quincy Jones' birthday?
Bro, why you always got stories of people that you like? What's going on?
You want to know why? Because the illustrious Duke Ellington School of the Arts
that I attended
you did not go to Ellington. But shout out to all my homies who went to Ellington.
Yeah, shout out to our family at Ellington.
Oh my God. Ellington had a way of putting you in certain positions and places where you just got to experience this life-changing things, and it's probably the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
That's great.
As an artist. So I say all that to say, I was in show choir at Ellington, right? And we got a performance at Quincy Jones' birthday party.
That's cool.
I think he was like 65.
Damn. I said, damn.
He said no. He said no.
I said, damn it.
He said, I'm 56 years old. If y'all didn't know, we're talking about the interview with Kevin Hart and Don Cheadle. Hilarious.
I said, damn it.
It was all over TikTok, but that's neither here nor there. So I got to perform at Quincy Jones's. I don't remember what we did because it was such a crazy night. It was at this mansion somewhere. It was the party filled with people. There were probably so many notable people there that I didn't even know and recognize because they probably fly under the radar, but they're probably some of the most influential people on the planet.
That's crazy.
And he was such a cool dude.
Yeah.
His big thing was he was big on horoscopes. All night he was guessing your horoscope and have you come sit next to him and talk to you about what you. I'm like 16.
Yeah. And I'm talking to Quincy.
Yeah. I got to sit with him and chat with him, man. And he was cool. And I'm sitting with him, and he's like, yeah, I see that for you. I'm just telling him stuff I want to do. I don't know what I want to do at 16.
Yeah.
So when I was 16, I think I had just started producing. Yeah, I started making beats before I started really writing songs for myself. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure I was telling him that. He's like, yeah, I see that for you. I see that. And what's your sign? I was like, Sagittarius. He's like, oh, yeah. And I was, and that's all I remember from
him. Yeah, what?
Like, I don't know. That's all he would say was, oh, yeah. It's just like, it lined up with my personality or something like that. I'm not big on horoscopes, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But it was definitely a life-changing moment for me to be able to kind of just be around arguably the greatest producer of all time.
That's cool, man.
Producer, composer, black at that,
yeah,
of all time. I just want to throw that out there. I'm going to always pull my stories out the vault.
That's cool, man. I did not know that you got to meet Quincy, man. That's
man, I got more for you. We're going to save some other episodes. We're going to keep y'all coming back.
I might have to talk to a few people I got a chance to, interact with.
You got to get that off. Get everything you came for.
But yeah, we'll name drop another. We'll have another episode called Name Dropping.
Yeah, we're not that cool though. So.
Nah. Well, cool. So versus we didn't really
we didn't actually talk about
but I guess the consensus is Jermaine Dupri.
We don't need to jump into the
you can't.
The Rolodex or what is it? What I'm looking for, the discography, the credits.
No,
it's not. It ain't happening.
Diddy is absolutely correct. You can't. Your arms are not long enough to reach God.
Nah.
All right, next.
Dr. Dre might be pushing it.
Yeah, that would be a real. I think that would be a good versus, but it would be a little odd. Like, are we just gonna keep doing like West Coast versus East Coast? Like,
yeah, and I think that's the only reason why. Because honestly, if Dr. Dre is out of the question, there is nobody else.
Yeah, nah.
Who?
Yeah, no, nobody.
Who? Suge? No, I don't even know if he's a producer.
But it would be a very similar versus. Yeah. So
that's dead. Okay.
No. All right. Cool.
Proceed.
We have Tim's new EP on the list here.
Yeah, that was me. I put that on there.
Cool.
So I know we briefly talked about Tim's in one of the first two episodes.
Yeah.
How I just really enjoyed what she's been doing feature wise. Like she blew up off that record with Wizkid.
Yeah.
Essence.
Yeah.
And then she's on Drake's album on Fountains.
Yeah.
And so I went back and listened to some of her solo music that she already had. I think she had like 2 EPs before that. Mm-hmm. And I thought they were all right. They were pretty good. I didn't really like the beats that she chose, but it was still good music. It just, not that I didn't like them, they just weren't for me. Like the production. But this new EP that she just dropped, let me see, what's the name of it? Her new EP is called If Orange Was a Place.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I like that joint. Like from front to back, but I have 2 main records that I really like on that joint. So first of all, when it first started, Crazy Tings. It's only really 5 songs with like a video at the end. But the first track, Crazy Tings, with the rhythm that came into it, that real kind of reggae, Afro beats, Afro pop kind of vibe. And it came in, it gave me so much like attitude.
Yeah.
When it started that, I loved it. I was like, yeah, I like this. It kind of felt like real rhythmic music was making a comeback from that. Yeah. And of course she has the record with Brent Faiyaz on there called Found.
And that was a good sound for them.
Together. That was a good sound for both of them. I liked like the Spanish guitar kind of feel.
Yeah.
And it was very like open. But my favorite song on there is a song called Avoid Things.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And what makes it interesting why I like that song so much is because even though the drum pattern is kind of giving you that same kind of rhythmic, maybe reggae, Afro beats kind of vibe, the guitar to me was giving me like soft rock.
I heard that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? And then also the structure of the writing on it. You know, when you listen to like a lot of 80s rock and those songs, they would sing in phrases, but they would leave space in between their phrases to let the beat breathe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's given us like a quick little phrase, one bar, and then just let it breathe, space out. You know who does that? Sade is the master at that. And I'm not comparing the two at all, but I just noticed the similarity in that. And I love leaving that space in there to kind of let the guitar sing, and then the guitar chords that give you a little more body and a little more emotion and feel, right? So I love the space in it, and I love the repetition. I love her. The melody is different than all. Like she has a very similar melody, like a go-to melody that she has on her verses. Definitely on her features, their melodies are pretty similar. But on this one, her melody was completely different from those. So that mixture of rock and Afro beats, and just it was just a really good. It's like a cruising song to me.
Yeah.
So when I hear a song that has like forward motion like that and it's cruising and it just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love those. Tim's, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
So I know when you dropped this in the notes, I definitely checked out the EP. I was listening to it with Love.
Shout out to Baby Love.
My daughter's name is Love.
Shout out to my niece.
So and me and Love are vibing, bro. Like it was just all the way through. I love the Afro beats type of vibe. And you and I want to touch on this. Like,
yeah,
we were talking about artists who come from the UK and the quality of artists that come from the UK, the quality of songwriting, song making, artistry, and just being taken seriously as artists. There aren't very many gimmicks. Like I'm not biased or in any way.
You don't gotta walk it back. You're right.
I'm not, but like it's just there's not gimmicks.
Yeah.
And I would like the same from here. That's it. Yeah. Like, I mean, so yeah, we brought up Thames. Who else did we bring up from the UK?
We brought up Thames. I didn't bring up, but I meant to mention Etta Bond is one of my favorites. Etta Bond has been out here for a really long time.
Etta James is good.
Etta James
is
Etta Bond.
Itchy Bond.
Itchy Bond. You're well. Yeah. Labyrinth is one of my favorite artists of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got them. Who else was I listening to? And even like TV shows from the UK, they just kind of do things a little different. Like they celebrate talent over there.
Yeah.
They celebrate talent in the UK, and I've never been, but I'm trying to slide. I'm trying to go to the Boiler Room.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hit a Boiler Room set.
We might have to just go ahead and just go out to London for a little bit, man.
Let's get it.
I
like what they do.
Another artist that we're going to talk about a little later, Dua Lipa, from the UK. Yeah. And there's plenty of artists that we could just kind of like talk about, but the consensus is, Tim's, you're falling right in line.
I love it.
Making great music, EP all the way through. I'm ready for the album.
You're unique. Your sound is unique.
Yeah.
Her actual voice is unique, right? And it doesn't sound like she's trying to sound like anyone else.
At all, no.
She's coming in doing her thing. Like, Essence, even though it's a Wizkid record, it was her song.
Yeah, she definitely made it, yeah.
She made that song. Like, when I heard that song, I wanted to know who she was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Wizkid, he's been doing it for so long. His voice is his sound is so polished. So when she comes in with that raw tone, it's like, nah, hold on, who is this?
Yeah,
that's giving me this. It's like they just walked in off the street and they just came in and got it in real quick. You know what I mean? It felt like that. So I appreciate her style. I appreciate what she's doing. I love Fountains, that were her on Drake's album. Yeah. I love her EP.
I feel like here in the States, she's definitely launched into potentially becoming a very large artist.
Very big deal.
Yeah, I think that we're going to be following her, and I'm glad that you put it on the list. So I checked it out, and
I'm backing it 100%.
Definitely added it to the library. So
it's lit.
Yeah, Tim's definitely was killing it with the EP. So look, this episode is, we were just saying, like, it definitely has been very deep, and I'm cool with that. Like, you said it best. Like, music is a sport to us. We don't play games with it. We definitely treat it seriously. We talk music all day, every day. And this is just like why this space right here was needed for us. Like, being able to come on, share our thoughts and our knowledge, and just our insight with you all. And you know, at the end of the day, these are all our opinions, but hopefully, and one of the nicest things that we heard so far was that people are learning from us. Like, and one of the segments that you know, folks really liked was the recipe. And this will definitely be something that we include in all the episodes, because it's what makes us unique, because we do have the ability to dissect a song start to finish, go from the lyrics to the production to the engineering, and in all aspects of the music. So just to kind of recap what exactly the recipe is, this is the portion of the podcast where one of us picks a song that we'll focus on, and we will analyze and pick the song apart and explain the perfect ingredients that the song consists of to make it the perfect drink, the perfect mix. And at the end of this will be the recipe that we will give to you all as to why we believe it's just a well done song. So with that, you're up. What's the song?
Yeah, man, it's my pick this week. We did a guy last week, right? We did Lucky Day.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of gonna take it. I'm gonna take it to the other side of the spectrum. We're actually gonna go with Dua Lipa.
Okay, cool.
Today we're gonna go with. She has a song, an amazing record called "Levitating," which is the original one without the features.
Yeah.
The features are still very great. But we want to just really pay attention to the structure of this first one. So we're gonna listen through it.
Yeah.
And then we'll break it down.
Cool.
What a record. Perfect. Excellent. Exquisite. Expenses.
Yeah, expenses. Sure.
Expenses.
For sure.
Expenses.
we gotta explain to them what expenses means though.
Expenses is the word expensive, but just in the Whiskey Web Pod style.
Expenses.
That joint expenses. You smell me?
Finances.
You already know. Listen.
Yeah,
all right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour a glass, and then we're going to break this joint down. Pardon me for 1 second, family.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead and get in here, man.
Listen. This is such a well put together. Hear that? Wow. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
Listen. This song is so well put together, and we're going to start from the top. The very first thing that you notice from jump, right? If you want to, y'all know I go on lyrics. So lyrics first.
Yeah.
First thing you notice is it's a conversation. She's talking to someone. If you want to go with me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's talking to you, right? So aside from her talking to you, notice the way you got 16 bars in your verse, right? Notice that the first 8 bars, she's her notes are descending, right? So if you wanna go, it's going down, right? She does that for the first 4, and then the next 4, it's actually coming back up, right? In the sky, you got those next 4 bars where you see it going up the other way, and that just keeps it from being too repetitive. So it keeps it fresh, it keeps it exciting. You're still listening to the lyrics. You still know that it's a conversation, but you've switched up your actual melody so that it's interesting, right? So traditional structure, and usually like the perfect formula to writing the song is you got your verses are 16, right? So she's giving us 8 or maybe 8 to 12, something like that, and then you're giving us a pre-chorus. So she gives us the pre-chorus, you want me, I want you, baby.
Great.
Right? So you give us something like that that's leading us into the chorus, but it's still giving us a break from the verse. You're introducing new ideas to keep things fresh. You're switching up the rhythms. That's also keeping it fresh. And then we get into that chorus. The chorus it fills up, it builds. Before we even really dive into the way the chorus is, go back to the beginning. Once you get past the melody and the way she switched those things up, another thing you notice the bass line. It comes right in with that strong bass, right? And anytime people listen to music, that's what they're looking for, the bass, right?
Yeah, that moves.
So she's giving us, it's like modern day disco. You got that steady beat from the kick drum, ding, 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 right? You're getting that melody and that bass line. It's gonna rattle your chest, so it's keeping it exciting. You get the pre-chorus. You keep moving like that. Now, another thing that goes with it, and I took some notes. If you notice when you listen to the song, and we encourage you all to go back after this, before we talk about this, after this, and listen to the song so you can kind of see some of the things you're talking about.
Yeah.
The chorus is a bit longer the second time around, right? So if the first time she gives us maybe like 8 bars of a chorus, then the next time she gives us 12 or 16 bars of a chorus, and she switches up the melody. You could fly away with me tonight, right? That keeps it fresh, keeps it interesting, and doing that the second time around is like kind of like a second ending, or like an alternate ending. You're watching a movie or a TV show or something, and they give you the option to see. I think The Sopranos had something like that, where you can watch it. There's a second season with a different type of ending. It's keeping it fresh for you like that.
Right.
That's really interesting to me. And then she takes us into this bridge section where, again, you're introducing a new idea. So now, rather than singing and giving us the ascending and descending notes, she's giving us just rhythmic, just rhythm in the words. Like she's kind of rapping almost.
Yeah.
Right? Keeping everything fresh. I've touched on so much stuff. Clearly, I'm excited about this song because I just thought it's so well put together. When I first heard this song, I was like, this joint is a hit. And that's before it became a single. I listened to the album when it dropped.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that's my thing. I'll listen to the album and I'll point out the singles before they drop. Like, this is a single. This is a banger. The bridge with the rapping. And then it's all about introducing fresh ideas, keeping things fresh. So switching something up as the song goes on, even though you're repeating different sections, doing something different as you repeat it so that it's not too repetitive, right? You want it to be slightly different. So what she did was, I noticed that the very last pre-chorus after that rapping bridge, she went back and she gave us the same pre-chorus vocals, but they actually pulled the beat out.
Yeah.
Right? So you pull the beat out, you let everything calm down. There's no bass, there's no drums, you're just listening to the vocals, and then that gives you somewhere to go as you build the song back up into the last hoorah, the last chorus. So now it's like we're jumping out the gym now, you know what I'm saying? We got the nice little lead synth line over the top of the song that's going up and building up the octave, right? So it's going up higher and higher. You feel like you're being lifted at the end of the song before it ends. Yeah. And that's just dope to me. And the very last thing of this song that I thought was very fire, that a lot of people miss that they could do in their songs. There are many elements to this song that are memorable. Yeah. But even if you're not a musical person, when you take your voice and you work out a trick to make it sound like a crowd or a choir, and you give them something to repeat, whoa, like building up things like that, people, even if they can't sing and they're tone deaf or whatever, they'll remember those kind of things because it's excitement, it gives you that crowd feel. So imagine when she performs this song live. Hear the whole audio, oh, they're building up, they're coming down, they're singing along with you. I think this is such a well put together record. And then once she did the remixes and threw on the Baby, and she had 2 remixes, right? Yeah, 2. One with the Baby, one with Meg Thee Stallion. It was perfect. Yeah. Exquisite and expenses. Such a well put together song. It's also a great album. Feel free. She's honing that like modern day disco sound. Yeah. I'm glad she's found her zone. I hope she stays in that lane until she feels it's time to progress to something else. But that's all I got, man. I didn't mean to get so excited, but it's such a great song.
It really is a good song. I'm just going to touch on a couple more things. Like everything that you just broke down, honestly, was enough. But yeah, the song is for sure definitely expenses. Yeah. And when we say expenses, we mean like expenses. The song just sounds expensive. Yeah. Like there was a lot of people involved. There was a lot of musical genius that was put into this. Yeah, it was very well written because well thought out. Like you mentioned, like it takes us kind of on a journey. It takes us to a different place, and I love the fact that it's like you can fly away with me. Like it's like she takes us there. It's like you feel like you're kind of on a rocket ship going into outer space, and she starts out the song talking about how she like had a premonition that we fell into a rhythm, and like it's just very rhythmic, very syncopated. And it's not a song where we're sitting here trying to like belt out and like make it all about vocals. Like it's about telling the story. It's about being in a groove, being in the pocket. And it's very musical, extremely musical from start to finish. Actually, every time I hear this song, I notice something different. And the whole like talk box, like you know what I'm talking about, like that was like really cool at the end. I noticed it before, but like just at the end, if you listen back to the song, that kind of gave it a bit. Every time I hear that, I kind of think of like a West Coast type of vibe, with those types of synths that are added in there. But it just makes the song dance. Like you can't hear this song without like tapping a toe or like moving a little bit. And when you achieve something like that, it's a really great achievement, because I know that's what they were going for with this dance record. They wanted people to be like, it's really cool moments in this, and it's high energy. And that one part that I didn't notice, that I noticed this time when I listened, was she's actually like being like woo, like in the and I'm like, that literally just launches the song into a whole nother type of level of energy when you're on your song being like woo, like, you know, in the back, and you like, you could fly away, and like, you know, you were saying stuff like that. So I'm trying to think of anything else. I know that you mentioned like the breakdown of the song. It took it into a cut time, where it kind of like sat in it a little bit, like, you know, and there was definitely some people in the room who had a little seasoning, you know what I mean, who had
that little breakdown,
had a little flavor in there. So I appreciate that. And then they brought it back. Like you said, the instrumentation dropped out, and they did a little acapella moment where it was more of like a chant, getting crowd involved. Just imagine, man, like you're in a stadium full of people, like you just said, and like, you got everybody just singing this song. I'm sure that's the greatest feeling in the world as an artist, having everybody in this space singing your record. So this is a great song. This is a great pick for the recipe. And just a well done song. So to wrap it all up, I guess.
What's
the recipe, man?
The recipe for this one, Dua Lipa's recipe, is make it rhythmic. Make the lyrics, like I always say, either a conversation or a story. And I feel like in this one we kind of got both. Fresh ideas, never it should never be the same. Even if you're repeating an idea, there needs to be some sort of embellishment to it the second time around, the third time around, that keeps it fresh, but still keeping that original idea. And understanding the structure of songs. You got your A section, you got your B section, you got your bridge, you know, you got your, you know, first ending, you go back and you go through the structure, you go through the same structure again, then you got your second ending, which is like that extended chorus the second time around. And the biggest thing I think is having fun on that, you know what I mean?
Such a fun record.
It's making a fun record, so it's fun for you to do in the studio, and you know that other people are going to find it fun. That song to me feels like New Year's Eve. Like what New Year's Eve would feel like after the ball drops.
That's good,
You know what I mean? So that's the recipe for that. And I hope you guys can go back and listen to it. It's Levitating by Dua Lipa. I think anyone who can enjoy it, that's like an all-purpose song where like you can be cleaning your house and then listening to it. You could be out somewhere jumping around, enjoying it, skating rink, bowling, anything.
Definitely in your favorite movie,
you know,
favorite commercial.
That song can be anywhere, and that's what it's about. It's about making timeless records. Shout out to Dua Lipa.
Definitely taking over the dance world.
Yeah, she got it, bro.
Yeah, she got it.
There it is.
Hey, man. So we got the recipe. Listen, I this episode, man,
it's
like
a big one.
We definitely dug a bit deeper, and
to a lot of things.
Yeah, it felt good to get some stuff off our chest. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you just gotta get it out.
Yeah,
you know?
this one we really stuck to music this time. We we didn't talk about no food. We didn't talk about anything else like that. We got right to the music and we stuck with it.
Got some stuff off our chest. Put some hair on our chest.
Yeah, this one right here is smooth though.
It is.
One more
smooth.
time, what we drinking?
So right now today we are drinking once again, Gentleman Jack. This is Jack Daniel's double mellowed Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah, it's delicious.
For sure.
Very smooth. Not too much of a bite.
Nah.
But to put a little hair on your chest, pimp.
Highly recommend it. So with that, man, I think that's what we got for today.
Yeah, I'm cool to wrap now.
Cool. Whiskey Wednesdays.
We'll see y'all next time.
Hey, Brandon, pour me another one.